Hello and welcome. I'm Silvia Pavoni, economics editor of The Banker, and I'd like to show you a few tables that we've put together ahead of the annual meeting of Felaban, which this year will take place between the 11th and the 14th of November in Miami. These tables are going to be published in The Banker's November edition, which will be distributed at the event and which will also carry a broader range of articles that hopefully will be of interest to Latin American bankers. But let's start with the tables. So this is the top part of The Banker's top 200 Latin American banks, which is powered by the Banker database. And our researchers have judiciously put together the data. This data is from 2016. And the most interesting thing to point out about this first table is that it's obvious that the Brazilian banks have started to grow again their Tier 1 capital, while in the previous year, all of them reduced their Tier 1 capital positions, the ones included in our top 200 table. In this case, all but 2 of the 43 lenders, Brazilian lenders included in the ranking, increased their position. The ranking is still led by Itaú Unibanco, which continues to be the largest lender in Brazil and Latin America, and its Tier 1 position has grown by over a third. The second largest Tier 1 capital growth is by Santander Brazil, which has increased its capital position by over a quarter. Something else that is interesting to note is that while Brazilian banks are benefiting from the economy's return to growth, the situation is still quite uncertain in Mexico. So the economy in Mexico is still stalling, and there is quite a lot of uncertainty around the renegotiations of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreements, which Mexico is dealing with and talking to its other 2 North American partners, US and Canada. We have a Mexican bank here in the top 10, which is Grupo Financiero BBVA Bancomer. And as you will see, its Tier 1 capital position has shrunk last year, and also its assets. And this is something that is quite common across all the other Mexican lenders. Part of our ranking, most of them have seen the Tier 1 capital reducing, and in many cases, assets as well. But let's look also at some other tables. I would like to show you this next table, which looks at profitability, so return on assets. In this case, a Mexican lender leads the table, Banco Compartamos, which is a microfinance specialist, and it shows a very high return on assets, 13.99%. And the rest of this top 10 return on assets table is pretty much occupied by Argentine names. So Argentina continues to be a profitable banking market, which is also showed by the next table, which ranks banks by return on capital. And here the Argentine names are again very strong, and the whole table is led by Citibank Argentina with a return on capital of an incredible 94.2%. So this is just a little bit of a taste of our top 200 Latin American banking rankings. The full list will be available on the Banker's November edition, as well as on thebanker.com. We will be at Felaban. Come and see us if you would like to have another look at the ranking, and also to get a free trial that my colleagues will be able to give you to delegates of Felaban during the event. Thank you.